Morning, everyone. Brian Stevenson here with Real Estate Law Plus, and today I just wanted to talk about what happens if you have a client who is buying a property and the seller passes away prior to the completion of that transaction. So this happened recently. I had a client looking to buy a place, and as mentioned, seller passed away. Now, there's going to be the practical effect of this is there's going to be a delay in the transaction. It does not collapse the transaction. The contract is not frustrated because there is language in the standard contract of purchase and sale that will provide that the liability and obligations of the vendor do succeed to their heirs and successors. And now what's the key thing that has to happen now, however, from a practical perspective, is now that the seller's passed away, it needs to have the interest transferred over to the executors. This is also contemplating a situation where there's no joint tenancy in place. There's no other surviving owner that would take over 100% ownership. So in this case, it has to be transmitted over to the executors, and that can take time. So the result here will be you'll have to think about, as a service provider and someone who's helping the buying client, looking at trying to figure out how you're going to deal with that time delay. Oftentimes you're going to see attempts to have the buyer obtain vacant possession of the property early without having the legal ownership over the property, and there are some risks for that on both sides. When it comes to the insurance side of things, the executors may be uncomfortable with having the parties in the property on a certain time frame before they're able to get all the matters dealt with on the will and administration of the estate side of things. Also may want to ensure that it's very clear that this is a tenancy at will, there's a irrevocable authority to proceed. So just things to consider. So of course, in the event that this happens to you, please do reach out to contact your local legal representative who's assisting with the transaction and kind of go from there. One other thing I want to mention with these videos I try to do, it's supposed to be Real Estate Law Plus, and the plus is supposed to be business development related matters. And one thing I thought I'd share on the business development side of things when it comes to productivity or actually more appropriately habit forming type things that you want to do. Habits, of course, being something that very important in our lives, and they're always working either for us or against us, whether we have good habits or bad habits. But something to consider when you're trying to build a good habit in particular, it can be a difficult thing to have that behavioral change really sink in. So one thing I would consider thinking when you're trying to build a good habit is to consider coping plans. And what I mean by that is, let's say you're trying to get into the habit of doing, let's just take the basic example, going to the gym 3 times a week. And then the market gets very busy, as we've seen, and continues to be busy, and you're finding yourself not able to get to the gym 3 days a week. But you had this exercise goal in mind. So a coping plan essentially is saying, okay, rather than trying to say, okay, at 5 p.m. every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, I'm going to go to the gym, and then failing at that endeavor, and then just further falling behind on your goals of exercising. Having a coping plan in place can be useful, because if you, let's say you don't go to your 5 p.m. gym time, you can say, okay, in the event that I am not able to do that for whatever reason, then at 7 p.m. I'm going to do X home workout, or just a few push-ups and some other go for a run or whatever it is. But having some sort of plan B effectively can be something that could be can be quite effective, because what you're trying to do is build up that positive reinforcement when it comes to actually achieving and following along with your habit forming goals and plans. And if you're not able to succeed with kind of plan A, you don't want to have that kind of negative feeling of disappointment or lack of achievement. And having a coping plan that's maybe even slightly easier to be able to fit into your day. So maybe you're not able to go to the gym for an hour at 5 o'clock, but you're able to, like I said, maybe hop on a home treadmill even for half an hour or something like that. So I think you understand the concept there. So consider that when you're trying to be a bit more productive and build some good habits when it comes to your business development and business life, whether that's trying to make a certain number of phone calls a day. Okay, I'm going to make 3 phone calls by 9 a.m. Okay, I'm not able to do that. Well, I'm going to make a call at lunch at a minimum type of thing. So you have these coping plans in place. Just a thought for you guys. Hope everyone's having a good day. If anyone wants to chat about anything, please feel free to reach out, and we'll chat soon.